Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our community yoga class. So again, we do this every Wednesday, 6:45 p.m. If ever you have family members or friends who would like to try yoga practice, they can come here to the studio, or we'll be uploading this video as well, so you can share it with them. In terms of themes, for today, we'll be working with a special yoga session for moms. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a mom for you to be able to do this sequence. So I'm not a mom, but I have moms that I look up to. So my mom and my sister are women that I aspire to become when I eventually become a mom. But I asked my sister before, what is the usual target area or spot in your body that feels a little bit stressed as a mom. And of course, obviously, it's naturally in the shoulders as she carries her babies. And she has twins, so there's one at the front, one at the back. So, but having tight or tense shoulders, it's not something that just moms experience, but it also is very evident in a lot of people because we hold up a lot of our stress or tension there. So with our moms as inspiration for today, could be your motherly figure, it could be someone that you look up to in your life, it could be the women that you aspire to become, it could be anyone that serves a motherly role in your lives. Let them be your guide for today's class, okay? And we'll be bringing particular attention to the stressed shoulders of our moms. So we're gonna start off in your easy seated pose. Just go ahead and cross your legs in front of each other. And already here, allow your shoulders to roll up and down a couple of times. You can do both at the same time, or you can do one shoulder at a time. And just notice how your shoulders feel. Again, we hold up a lot of our stress, a lot of our tension right there, just like our moms who carries their kids for long periods of time. We'll just take a moment to relieve some of that with movements that feel natural, that feel organic. I naturally went into some neck movements. Maybe you want to do some torso sways. Maybe you want to move your arms as well as you release some of the stress in your shoulders. Okay, so just let yourselves loosen up, just let yourselves settle in, just let yourselves arrive. Having that baseline idea of how your shoulders feel for today, especially since we're doing this session after a long day. You might have come from work, you might have come from errands, you might had some time with your kids, so take a moment to relieve some of that pain on your back. And then when you're ready, we're just gonna place our hands on top of our shoulders, just like so. And I call this your windshield wipers or your washing machine pose. So you're gonna draw big circles with your elbows, just allowing your arms to further loosening up, rotating with your shoulders. And then just go the other way as well, doing the washing machine in the opposite direction of which direction you went to, just to again loosen up the shoulders, release tension and pain on your shoulders. Now relax your arms down by your sides and just take a moment to let your arms feel heavy. Notice how your shoulders feel after those few poses. Now from here, on an in-breath, go ahead and reach your right arm all the way up to the sky. Inhale. And then exhale, tip over to the left. So reach that right arm up and over your head. Now imagine like you have an umbrella above you, bending at your elbow. And begin to lean that right shoulder back. Let your chest face more up towards the sky. And notice which part of your shoulder, which part of your chest, which part of your back body is being targeted here. Now take a big breath in here, please. And then exhale, imagine like you're gonna hug a ball to the side. So round your spine and hug that imaginary ball. And again, notice which portion of this pose allows you to get deep into your shoulders, your back, your chest. And then on an in-breath, rise up. And then exhale, lower your arms down. To the other side, so right hand is down, left arm comes up. Inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and sweep over to the left, to the right, lengthening from left hip all the way to your fingers. Now bend your top elbow. And then begin to let your left shoulder spiral up to the sky. Again, noticing where this feels in your body. Inhale here. And then exhale, hug that imaginary ball. Allow yourselves to bow down to the side like you're hugging that ball. Breathing into the spaces that you are creating. Long, deep breath in. And long, deep breath out. On an in-breath, rise up, but lift both arms up to the sky. And then exhale, lower your hands down in front of you. And just allow yourselves to come down to a depth or a degree that feels good for your back. Just making sure that your hips are still rooted to the floor. And once you have reached as far as you can with your arms, just let your head bow down. Breathe into the length on your neck, your upper back, middle back, lower back. Now slowly walk your hands back and roll your torso all the way upright. And you're just gonna switch your legs. So bring one leg forwards and the other leg back. So we're gonna do that same sequence again, but this time we're gonna create a flow. So on an in-breath, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, side stretch to the right, left arm up and over. Inhale, bend your top elbow and spiral your chest to face up to the sky. Exhale, hug an imaginary ball and bow down to the side. Both arms lift up, inhale to the sky. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, bend your top elbow, spiral your chest to face up. And then exhale, hug that imaginary ball. Lift to the center on an in-breath. Back up with your arms. Finish off, exhale, arms down by your sides. We're going to do one more set and let it feel a little bit more natural. On an in-breath, arms come up. Exhale, side stretch to the right. Inhale, bend top elbow, spiral your chest open to the sky. And then exhale, bow down. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, side stretch to the left. Inhale, open chest up to the sky. And then exhale, hug that imaginary ball. Reach upwards once again on an in-breath. But this time, lower your hands down to the floor in front of you and take another forward fold. Walk forwards, and bow down. So it doesn't matter how low you can go, just enough for you to feel the space from your neck to your upper back, middle back, low back. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Now slowly walk your hands back and roll your torso all the way upright. Inhale your arms up to the sky. And then exhale, please transition to your tabletop. Come down onto your hands and your knees. Now let's do your cat and cow. So line up your hands under your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And on an in-breath, begin to let your belly drop down. Tilt your chin, tailbone up to the sky. And then exhale, push away from the floor, round your back, and look down to your thighs. We go again, please. Inhale, drop your belly down, arch your back, gaze up to the ceiling. And then exhale, push away from the floor, round your back. Please do this a couple more times on your own, but remain connected with your breath. I am a big do cat and cow advocate, and it will make your lives a lot better. Notice how much space you are creating by just this two simple movements. So if you can do this about 10 times before you begin your day, allowing yourself to mobilize the spine, free up tension in your back body, it will help with your mood. It will help with how you feel. It will help with the tension, the tightness, and the stress that you're feeling. So finish off your one last round, taking a big breath in and a big breath out. Now stabilize at the center and begin to curl your toes and lift your hips up into your downward facing dog, forming an inverted V position with your body. We're not staying that long, so if you need to pedal out your knees, now would be the best time to start, bending one knee at a time. And as you bend and extend your legs, please begin to make your way towards the front, taking as many steps as you need. Once you are there, open your feet as wide as your hips, so just as wide as your hips, and then grab a hold of your elbows. Allow your head to dangle down and your hips, your torso to sway side to side, left and right, left and right. And this is again another beautiful pose to do on a daily basis. It's a very humbling pose that lets you target your back body and your hamstrings, parts of your body that you use all the time. So we need to stretch them out every now and then. Now begin to dangle your arms down to the ground. And just nice and slow, begin to roll yourselves up bone by bone. Once you reach the top, inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, lower your prayer hands down towards your hearts. Now let's do that again. Inhale, sweep your arms up, gathering strength and energy. And then exhale, bring your prayer hands to your heart center. It's also a very powerful pose. Inhale, sweeping your arms up for extended mountain pose. And then bringing your prayer hands to your heart center, gathering strength and power. Let's do just one more. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, prayer hands to your hearts. Now this time, interlace your fingers and flip your palms so that your hands are pushing to the front. Micro bend to your knees and imagine like you're sitting in a chair. And you round your spine, creating that curvature with your back that allows you to broaden to your upper spine. Now take a big breath in. As you sweep your arms up, arch your back. Allow your shoulders to lean, your chest to puff forwards. And then exhale, push forwards. Round your spine into that modified chair. We go again. Inhale, sweep your arms up, arch the back, lean back. Exhale, push forwards and round through your spine. Now please do this a couple more times on your own. This is actually your standing cat and cow. So it's already similar to the one that you did on the floor, but this time you don't need the mat. So if you can't make it to your mat, you can do this wherever, whenever, right? You can do this in your office, you can do it in your house, you can do it when you're in front of other people, and I hope that they don't feel a little bit awkward as you start to do this. But it's really nice. Let them join you. Again, I'm a big advocate of do cat and cow, and your life will be better. Your life will change. Again, notice we're just doing a couple of rounds, but you feel a little bit lighter, you feel a little bit more open. Your mood becomes a little bit more positive as well. Finish off one more set. Big breath in. And big breath out. Once you are done, just release your arms down by your sides and notice the difference. On an in-breath, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, please take a forward fold, dive down to your legs, reach down for the mat. This time, I want you to have your fingers on the ground. Micro-bend your knees if you need to so that you can reach more for the floor. And keeping the hands down, just try to extend your right leg. And then rebend your right knee. Try the other leg. Extend your left leg. So you're just bending and extending one knee at a time, just like when you were doing your knee pedals. Bend, extend, and maybe your hips kind of go along for the ride. Let them happen. Let them sway. Let them move. Loosening up just a little bit more. Breathing into the spaces just a little bit more. Now stabilize at the center and begin to open your feet as wide as your mat. Toes turn out, heels turn in, and begin to dip low into a squatted position. But we're going to make it dynamic again. So with your hands on the floor, just go ahead and begin to let yourselves sway side to side. So in the process, your toes and your heels will lift off the floor as you move side to side, left and right. Now begin to stabilize at the center, and you can keep your hands on the ground or pray your hands in front of your chest. But I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and just let yourselves feel a little bit more expansive, a little bit more open in this pose. Be it space for your hips, be it expansion in your chest, be it length in your spine, or maybe even just breathing a little bit more. Your breath is a powerful tool that can help you reduce stress on a daily basis. Take a big breath in here. And a big breath out. Lower your hands down if you're not yet there. And begin to lift your hips up to the sky, adjusting your feet closer and closer to each other. Look forwards, inhale. Exhale, step your right foot to the back. And release your right knee down to the floor. Move your right knee a few inches backwards and allow your hips to sink just a little bit closer towards the floor. I'm going to give you some options here, you guys. You can stay here with your hands on the ground, or you can slide your hands on top of your left thigh. But our intention is to sink your hips down and forwards so that you feel that stretch on the front of your right thigh, your hip flexors. So again, you can stay here, no problem. Find long, deep breaths in and calm, deep breaths out. One more, please. Inhale and exhale. Begin to lower your hands down if you have them lifted. Curl your right toes and lift your right knee up. Step that foot forwards and let's make our way towards the front end of our space. Grab a hold of your elbows. Micro-bend to your knees as you let your body sway side to side once again. Let your hips sway left and right, left and right. Now dangle your arms down to the floor and begin to make your way up to a standing position. Once you reach the top, inhale your arms up. Exhale, gather prayer hands to your hearts. Power pose. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, gather strength and power towards your hearts. One more, please. Inhale, extended mountain. And then exhale, gather strength and power towards your heart. Now interlace your fingers. You know what's coming. We're going to do another round of your standing cat and cow. So maybe micro-bend your knees here already. Round your spine, see out with your back. And then on an in-breath, you reach your arms up, arch your spine, lean back. Exhale, push forwards, round your spine, sit low. One more with me. Inhale, arms up, lean back. And then exhale, push forwards and round your spine. Couple more on your own. Again, very simple pose, right? And the great thing about this posture, you can do it any time of the day. You can do it when you wake up. You can do it when you're winding down from a long day. You can do it in the middle of the day whenever you need a little bit more release for your shoulders and your neck. Finish off one more. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. On an in-breath, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, let's take that forward fold, dive down towards your legs. Now have your fingers on the floor and you're going to do your micro-bending knees again. Pedaling out the knees, bend, extend, one leg at a time. Let your hips, cambot, sway side to side, left and right. Okay, now setting up for that second yogic squat. You open your feet as wide as your mat, sitting low into that squatted position. And for the first couple of breaths, let it be dynamic. Let it be moving. Allow yourselves freedom to create space by moving left and right. And maybe along the way, your heels and your toes kind of lift along for the ride, loosening up, loosening up, loosening up. Now, when you're ready, hands can remain down, or prayer hands can come in front of your chest. And again, I just invite you to close your eyes for a couple of breaths. Turn a little bit more inwards, setting aside how you look in the pose, and instead letting yourselves be comfortable with how you feel in this position. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Dangle your arms down to the ground, please. And begin to make your way up to your forward fold again, lifting your buttocks up and adjusting your feet closer to each other. Halfway lift, inhale, look forwards. And then this time we're going to move the left foot to the back. Take a big, big lunge. And gently lower your left knee down. So see if you can bring that left thigh at an angle. So move it a little bit more backwards until you feel that space on the front of your thigh. And you can stay here with your hands on the ground, or again, rise up with your hands on top of your knee. And wherever your body brings you, see if you can let your hips sink down just a little bit more. Breathe, relaxing with your face as you settle into this relatively simple but can be very challenging position because it's a part of our body that we use all the time, so there's a lot of tightness there as well. Take a big breath in here, please. Calm breath. And then exhale, lower your hands down to the ground. Great job, you guys. Curl your left toes and lift the left knee up. But this time, let's step back to downward facing dog. If you can remember that inverted V position with your body. On an in-breath, please ripple yourselves forward to plank. Not staying long. Exhale, come all the way down to the ground. Release yourselves completely to the mat. Now from this position, just go ahead and begin to peel your chest away from the floor. More than enough. Or maybe come up a little bit higher with your back body. So depending on how your shoulders, your back feels, just making sure that you're pulling your shoulders away from your ears and slightly tilting your chin up so that you expand your front body. Now take a big breath in here. And then exhale slowly. Lower yourselves down to the ground. Press yourselves up first to a tabletop position. And let me just show you what we're going to do later on. So later on, I'll ask you to bend your elbows. And you're going to place your hands on the back of your neck or the upper back. Okay? So from your tabletop, keep your hips on top of your knees. We're going to do our puppy dog pose. So walk your hands forwards and begin to melt your chest and your forehead completely to the ground. Melt your chest and your forehead completely to the floor. Once you connect, remember the bent elbows. Go ahead and bend your elbows and bring your hands towards your shoulders or towards the back of your neck or towards your upper spine. Yes. So your elbows are not static there, okay? So you can move your elbows wider or narrower. Your knees are not static there as well. If ever you feel a little bit misaligned or unstable, you can walk your knees back or knees forwards. You'll feel a nice melting sensation in the pose, allowing your heart to surrender towards the mat. Now please take a big breath in here and a big breath out. Slowly extend your arms forwards. Walk your hands back and make your way back up to tabletop position. Crossing at your shins, let's make our way back to that seated position. Make your way back to that seated position. And before we move on to our lying down poses, we're going to do a little bit of meditation. So go ahead and sit up nice and tall with your hands maybe on top of your knees or cross in front of your groin, wherever your shoulders can be effortlessly relaxed. Close your eyes if you haven't done so yet, and allow yourselves to turn inwards. So when I interviewed my sister as to what a mom should be working on in a yoga practice, aside from tense or tight shoulders, she mentioned that they relatively have just a short amount of time for themselves. So with that in mind, we're going to do a short meditation practice. Just 5 minutes of being here. Just 5 minutes of being still. I invite you to first notice how your body feels. How your body is reacting from the poses that we did. Whether you're feeling warm or feeling cool. Whether you're feeling tense or relaxed. Without any judgments, without any criticisms, you just take a moment to become aware of how your body is in this moment. This time, bring awareness towards the quality of your thoughts, noticing what is running through your mind. if you're thinking already of what you're supposed to do after the class, or if there's something lingering in your head that you did prior to this class but is still bothering you. Without any judgments, without any criticisms, just notice the thoughts, the ideas, the memories as they come and go out of your head. Now, in these moments, wherein there's a sense of peace, a sense of calmness, narrow in on your breath. Allow yourselves to observe how your inhalations are coming into your bodies and how your exhalations are moving out. And should you get distracted, should your body feel the need to move, should your mind feel the need to wander off, let it happen. Know that distractions are normal. They are perfectly fine. We just try the best that we can to keep coming back to our breath. And this is how meditation actually works. We tend to think that it's just quieting the mind, but it's actually being at peace, even with that distracted mind. Being okay with whatever your body is going through. Having the capacity to keep focusing on your breath whenever you can. Five big breaths, please. Breathing in. Breathing out 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Breathing in. Breathing out 4. Inhale. And exhale 5. Once you feel like you're ready to bring movements back into your bodies, go ahead and slowly transition to a lying position, extending your legs forwards and making your way to lie down on the floor, releasing yourselves down to the mat. For the last few poses, I'll be guiding you with my words, so just listen along. Once you are lying down on the mat, please hug your knees towards your chest and give yourselves a couple of gentle rocks side to side. Now straighten your legs up towards the ceiling and then look towards your feet and just begin to do some ankle rotations. So our moms or motherly figures in our lives, more often than not, they're always up on their feet doing something, running errands, So this is a great way to relieve some of the pressure from their feet and at the same time flow more body fluids towards the heart. Now, whichever direction your feet didn't go to, just rotate the other way with your ankles. So again, noticing how this feels for your feet, relieving some of the pain that is normally built up there. Now keep your right leg and gently lower your left leg down to the floor. Bend that right knee and guide that knee towards your left. Let it cross over your body. And then open your right arm out to the side, look over your right shoulder. As your spinal twists, another great pose to relieve any tightness or tension that you might have with your back body. And the great thing about this pose, you don't have to be on a mat to do this. You can do this in your bed. First thing in the morning or before you go to sleep. Plus, it's a relatively relaxing pose, so you can hold it as long as you want. Take a big breath in here. And then exhale slowly. Please come back to the center. And let's switch sides. So left knee in this time, right leg comes down. You guide that knee to the right. Let it cross over your body. Open your left arm out and look over your left shoulder. Take your time. No need to rush. And again, notice where you're feeling the pose. Notice where you can relax just a little bit more. Inhale here. And then exhale, come back to the center. Bend both knees once again. Hug your legs towards your chest. And this time we're going to curl into a tiny ball. So press your forehead towards your knees. Squeeze your fingers, squeeze your toes. And make the funniest face that you can make. Take a big breath in here. Hold. Exhale, release everything down to the ground, your arms, your legs, and your head down to the mat. Please settle into your Shavasana, taking any adjustments that will help you relax a little bit more. To culminate our practice for today, I will be guiding you into a modified yoga nidra or yogic sleep, wherein we'll be bringing particular attention to the moms in our lives. Begin to bring awareness towards your feet. And see if you can relax from the big toes down to the little toes. Let that relaxed feeling radiate towards the bottoms of your feet, from the balls of your feet to the arches and the heel. Let that relaxed feeling transcend up towards your ankles, your calves and your shins, your knees, and your thighs. Let that relaxed feeling radiate through your back body, from your bum to your low back, middle back, upper back. Let that relaxed feeling transcend towards your front bodies as well, from your hips to your belly to your chest. Feel relaxed as well from your shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrist, palms, and fingers. Allow that relaxed feeling to radiate up towards your neck, up to your face, softening from the jaws, relaxing the lips and the cheeks and the ears, relaxing the nose, the eyes, the forehead, and the crown of your head. Feel yourselves enveloped in this wonderful sensation of being relaxed from the tips of your toes all the way to the tops of your head. Now let that peaceful feeling radiate towards your heart. And as you settle in towards your heart center, I invite you to bring to mind your mom, or that motherly figure in your life. Could be your lola, your aunt, your ate, that has somehow impacted how you are in this moment. Has contributed and to who you are right now. Has been there to nourish and support you in whatever you do. That motherly figure that remained a strong force that you could rely on whenever you need it. Let's just send out positive, loving thoughts towards our moms, towards our motherly figures, wherever they may be. Proudly sharing with them that you, right here, is a product of all their efforts. Rest and relax. Rest and relax. rest, and relax. Start to deepen your breaths, taking long, deep breaths in and long, deep breaths out. Once you feel like you're ready to introduce movements into your bodies, go ahead and wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, roll your wrists, roll your ankles, and gently move your head from side to side. Morning stretch, please. Inhale, reach your arms over your head and zipper your thighs together. Take a big breath in here. Exhale into your fetal pose. Bend your knees to your chest and roll over towards your right side body. Stay lying down on your side for a few more seconds, just allowing yourselves to get a little bit more comfortable once again with the way that you feel, the way that you are breathing. At your own pace, at your own time, go ahead and make your way up to a seated position. And we bring our prayer hands in front of our chest. We take a moment to remind ourselves once again of the moms or the motherly figures that has shaped us into who we are in this moment. And for everything that they have lovingly given us, we bow down in a state of gratitude. Please enjoy the rest of your night. Namaste.